Hello everyone, Sarah here. I'm here to talk to you about meditation. Yeah, lots of people talking about meditation, doing meditation. I want to clear up a few of those things. I'm going to let you know how to do it, how not to do it, and I'm going to answer some basic questions about meditation. Like, can you meditate anywhere? Why are there different lengths of silences in meditation? And what is up with all those YouTube and other meditations out there? There are so many. If you're new to meditation, you probably have these questions. There's so much hype around it. I want to clear it up for you, so let's get started. I'm going to walk you through 2 video sequences. One is going to be me not meditating, and the second one, meditating. I'm going to show you my thoughts and how I deal with each one, because I want to clarify that meditation is not just thinking. It is brushing away some of the thoughts as they appear. So let's watch this video sequence. Hopefully it'll give you some clarity. Not meditating. Meditating. So did you see the differences? Let's talk about them. But first, don't forget to subscribe if you like my channel. Like it too. That shows me that you like it, that you care, that you want to support me. That would be amazing. Of course, in both of these scenarios, I was thinking a lot. I was thinking many thoughts. We're always going to have thoughts. In the first video, the thoughts were left to roam wild. They were sporadic. They were whatever. In the second video, I stopped them. I consciously, once I noticed I was thinking, I was like, whoa, stop, don't. And I cut it. It's like you cut something short. I didn't let the thoughts trail off longer than they needed to go. Meditation is simple, but not necessarily easy. Meditation is the process of noticing your thoughts. Once you notice it, you acknowledge it, and you dismiss it. Then you wait again. Oh, another thought. Then you dismiss it. That is all it is. It's that simple. So when you're sitting, you are just waiting, in a sense, for a thought to arise. And maybe that thought trails on a little bit, but as soon as you notice that you're thinking it, you catch it, you look at it, and you let it go. This process goes on until you actually think less. You start noticing when you think. When you're going about your day, if you start to meditate, you'll notice your mind. You'll notice it running amok. Because as the Buddhists call the mind, they call it the monkey mind. Because the mind has so many ways it can go. It can think about the past. It can think about the future. It can think about an ache in your body. It can think about that one memory you had that was triggered by XYZ. We humans think a lot. Like even when we don't know we're thinking. Like when we're washing the dishes, when we're talking with a friend, when we are sitting down and looking out the window. We think quite a lot. And you ask, Sarah, why is it bad to think so much? I mean, I solve some of my greatest problems just thinking through them. What? Except many of our thoughts are negative. We don't want to think that. I mean, what? But remember, we don't remember them. And meditation helps slow down our thoughts and try to notice them more. So we think more negative thoughts than positive thoughts. And if you want to try this out for yourself, I do encourage you to. I have a writing meditation out on YouTube. In it, I guide you through a writing meditation. You sit down with a notepad, a pen, paper, and you write out your thought as soon as you think it. So it's physically letting it go, actually seeing your thought, and then stopping it. If you do this meditation, and I'll link it here, one thing you can do is notice. So after the meditation, 10, 15, 20 minutes of it, you look back at your notes and you put a P next to all the positive thoughts. You put an N next to the negative thoughts. If they're neutral, then maybe just don't put anything. And then count up the amount of positive thoughts and the amount of negative thoughts you have. I encourage you to do this to actually see that maybe all that thinking you're doing unconsciously isn't the best. So if you're not thinking these negative thoughts and you're cutting them short and you're thinking less, I mean, we've all heard about the benefits of meditation, and that's where it comes in. I mean, lower anxiety, lower stress, heightened ability to control emotions. If you're not dwelling, ruminating, then you can move on more quickly. You can be sad, and then you can accept that sadness and be done with it. It's a really good feeling. Because in the first sequence, I was ruminating. I was ruminating on a particular thing. I kept thinking about something that had happened. That is called ruminating. And a lot of people who have signs of depression ruminate a lot. So they had an event, they went out with their friends, they had a presentation, whatever, and then they keep thinking about that event. It's just a slowly moving churn of thoughts. And it trails off. It trails off from a fact. I had a presentation today. Let's take that example. I had a presentation today. I did not communicate well in the presentation. Then, I am a bad communicator. And then, why am I such a bad communicator? Why am I so bad at communicating? I should be better at communicating. Why am I so bad at it? Is this because XYZ? I am a failure because I am a bad communicator. I am a failure. This seems like a sequence that is like, why would you make the conclusion from your presentation, I'm a bad communicator, to I am a failure? But these kinds of things, we make the connections more often than we like to admit. We take a fact, like, I got in a car accident, I am a horrible driver. They don't always go together. Maybe there's a hint of truth to it. It doesn't matter. They're not equivalent. It's not good for our mental health to continue having these negative thoughts. Even if they're small negative thoughts, they add up. So we have the basic meditation, what it is, down. The second part of it is what you focus on. So besides just acknowledging a thought when it comes up and letting it go away, we often put our attention on something while we are trying not to think. For instance, the most common meditation is the breath meditation. That's the focus on the breath. So obviously you're thinking, you're taking the thoughts and putting them away, but then you return to your breath. And the breath is dynamic. You can think about a lot of things when it comes to the breath. You can think about the coolness of the breath on the inhale, the heat on the exhale. You can count your breaths as an exercise. The breath is always there. That's why you can do it anywhere. When you're at the store, when you're going for a walk, when you're looking out the window, the breath is going to always be there. So you say, Sarah, that's the breath meditation, but I know that there are a lot of other meditations out there. What else is there? Since you can go anywhere and do anything and meditate, just think about all the things you can do and meditate and call it a meditation. For instance, I have an eating meditation out there. It's meditating while you eat. You focus on the flavor of the food. A walking meditation. So when you're walking, you can focus either on your body and how it's feeling, or you can focus on the sounds. So a sound meditation. You could just sit outside and listen, and that can be what you focus on. Or you can have a body scan meditation. You can be laying down on your back and thinking about the feeling of your body. You can think about the feeling of your hand, your elbow, your shoulder. All of those things are fair game for meditation. Another common question you might have is, can I meditate everywhere? I mean, can I? That's so cool, right? Yes, sorta, kinda. There are just some things and some places that you probably shouldn't. So if you're going for a run, you can try to meditate on your legs hitting the pavement and how your body is feeling. You can try, go ahead. I've actually tried that multiple times, and it wasn't the same experience. It was actually like I was bringing myself the notice of pain. Like normally when I run, there's no pain. But then I was being mindful of my body, and then I just noticed that my knee kind of hurt. And it didn't even hurt that much, but I brought attention to it. Also, if you're doing something just that requires too much attention, if you're reading, hopefully you're just focusing on the book rather than your breathing and focusing on the content of it. One plus of meditation, though, is and people have found this, I have found this, if you meditate before you read, it's easier to focus on what you read. So say you decide to meditate for 10 minutes before you read, you go to that book afterwards, you're not going to have as many thoughts popping up. And that's often a common problem when people read. Their mind is distracted and everywhere. Meditation really helps. The next question you might have is, Sarah, so why do you even have to focus on something to meditate? Why can't I just sit here, think about my thoughts, and push them away when I notice them? This is a good point. But if you think about it, what if I told you not to think about a pink elephant? You're going to think about a pink elephant, right? Duh. If you are sitting, thinking about your thoughts, and then you try to not think a thought, it's just hard. It's like, where do I put my focus? If I'm not thinking, what am I thinking about? You gotta focus on something. So as you're looking out there, you're doing your Google searches and you want to meditate, and I'm glad you've taken the step to watch this video, you are gonna come across so many meditation titles. You're going to see body scans, you're going to see manifestation meditations, you're going to see a lot. Just want you to keep in mind two things. We've gone over this. 1, meditation lowers the amount of thoughts in your mind by catching the thought as it comes up. 2, many or all of the meditations out there are going to have you focus on something besides your thoughts getting dismissed. They're going to focus on the sound. They're going to focus on touch. They're going to focus on walking. They're going to put your mind towards doing something. I also want to comment about the number of pauses and silences in meditations. I've noticed, like we all have, people are different. You're you. I'm me. We think differently. We need different things. Some meditations out there leave you with a prompt like, now focus on your hand and how it feels, and you know. And there will be like a 1 minute pause between the prompt or the next thing that the person says. Some people need and like longer silences. This is out of preference. It's also just about how the person's mind works. If they do need more time in between prompts, some people need those longer pauses. Me, for instance, I like meditations that have longer pauses because if I don't have those, I feel like my mind is just thinking over top of what the people are saying. And that makes me feel like I don't have my mind together, or I'm not in control of my thoughts. And that's not the case. It's that I'm different. I need a little more time in between to let my thoughts settle. I mean, our thoughts are like zooming back and forth, left and right, and we have to collect them in. So some meditations are gonna say, okay, do a body scan, I'll write head to toe, and they're gonna do that body scan in like 7 minutes. And then another meditation is gonna be like a 30-minute meditation, and it's gonna go from head to toe, and it's gonna take it so slow so your mind is able to calm at the pace of the person doing the meditations. So keep in mind that if you're out there looking for meditations and you don't like the first one you do, maybe they didn't pause like you wanted. Maybe they talk too much. Whatever you want in a meditator. It might not happen the first time you listen to a meditation. And lastly, I want to answer the question you may have. Do you need a meditator? Do you need someone to guide you through these meditations, these guided meditations? Do you have to go to YouTube? Do you have to go to different apps on your iPhone or your Android or whatever? And the answer is no. You can do it yourself. But when you have someone else telling you, directing you, they can help you stop the thought in its tracks faster. If you hear that person's voice, you can go, oh, okay, I didn't even notice I was thinking. Thanks, guide. And that's where a guided meditator helps. Or if you don't want to hear someone's voice, you can look up bell meditations, which is literally just a bell, which you can have every 1 minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes. There are a lot out there. And if a bell rings every 2 minutes, it can just be a reminder to, whoop, let me turn my focus back to my breath or the sounds or the smell or whatever. So theoretically, you can set a timer on your phone, or maybe you don't even want a timer, and you can sit in your dining room chair, on your bed, on your porch, anywhere practically, and you can meditate. All you're doing is sitting and being with your thoughts, and then dismissing them once you notice them. And bonus, I have a tip for you guys. If you're sitting and meditating and you feel bored, just acknowledge it and let it go. It's that easy. Thank you all for watching. I hope you had a great time learning about meditating and that I answered some of your questions. I hope your day is as meaningful as you make it to be, and good luck with your meditations. Bye now.